Where was one?
There is no one.
I was trying not
There
to.
can be only one.
Trying not to talk while it was going live because of that thing I keep telling you about. And
I know. That's why I did it.
you did it just so you could screw up our show. All right.
Well, yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, what else would you expect?
I don't know.
Off the cuff, man.
I
No
mean-
scripts. No scripts.
I get it.
You act like this is a professional operation?
I mean, I don't, but it could be just a little bit at certain times, certain things.
The aura of illusion, huh?
You know.
You try to become one of them highfalutin influencers.
No. We could. I mean, we know what we'd have to do that.
We're gonna start giving away prizes and having specials. If you subscribe and hit the notification bell, we'll send you a free copy of Veilguard.
That is not true, by the way. That is
No,
that was a
if
joke.
you subscribe and hit like, we won't send you a copy of Veilguard.
There you go. If you subscribe and hit like, we will guarantee you will not receive a copy of Veilguard from us.
See that's more.
I mean, unfortunately, if you don't have a PS5, you may not be able to get a physical copy anyway. But
that hurt my heart.
That hurts you. You have on the wall, but you collect stuff. That one's going to be a Bloodaxe story, pure Bloodaxe. We're going to start on it. Let's let Bloodaxe start.
Might as well. I mean,
you
you guys done dipped a toe in there. So anyway,
well, let's do the intro, and
Yeah.
we're going to let Bloodaxe do the first topic, man. That way he gets a word in edgewise.
And then I'll just sit back and you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
And
on team,
recovering from the flu.
Because
we're
God
on
gave
team.
us the big middle finger.
Oh
Yeah. Isaac.
I don't get that crap. But anyway, let's get started. How you feel about the the upcoming what was it? It's 3 games right now. What, Outer Worlds, Gears of War, and I don't remember the other one. Bloodaxe.
You don't remember the one that I was actually shocked and I was spamming you guys over last week was Grounded 2?
Oh, was it Grounded 2? Okay.
Well, I know what you're not going to get. I know you're not going to get a physical copy of any of those games, Bloodaxe.
I think it was Nerdrotic that I saw this on, and I shared it. And normally I share something and I get a response the day of the show, but I actually got a response back of haha oh from Q on this one. So I get everything's moving towards digital. It's cheaper for the manufacturer. They can profit more. We don't get any more benefit other than not having shelves full of shit. But the fact that Microsoft said, you know what? Fuck our gamers. The only ones that can actually pre-order a physical copy of Xbox Originals is PlayStation. I can't go to GameStop and pre-order Xbox Originals, but a PS5 player can walk up in there, whip their wallet out, and go, I want to get Gears of War E-Day. And that just burns. I mean, I have stuff from Xbox, not 360, from Xbox. I have collectibles from Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, 4, 5, Judgment. I buy the $120 collectible edition just because I like having the extra shit. And now I can't get any of that going forward if what Nerdrotic shared yesterday was true, along with the speculation that we'll be seeing a Game Pass increase because of the $80 price mark for these new games, which is less of a shocker than not having physical media. It all started with Doom, Dark Ages, right? So for those of you that don't remember, Doom Dark Ages, you got this wonderful case and you have the disc and you pop it in. It was a glorified downloadable code is all that disc was. Now you're not even going to get that fallacy. Now you're not even be able to have a fake disc at all. And you know, this just keeps pushing me towards that Steam cliff. As much as I've been resisting it, I've been fighting it. The fact that I couldn't get on Teams because my Mac says, hey, you need Mac version 13 or higher just to be able to download Teams. I went to download it. It goes, you're 12.7. You're fine. There is nothing newer. So Mac is pissing me off. Microsoft has pissed me off. You know what? I might just have to jump in the deep end of the Steam pool as opposed to even looking at getting one of the Rock consoles, because that was kind of, you know, dipping my toe in the water a little bit, looking at maybe the handheld POS as opposed to jumping right into a gaming PC. But if they're going to keep doing this shit, if I'm going to have to just have digital, give me a bloody PC as opposed to having to download on my Xbox, which is slow as molasses anyway to download. But at least I have my collectibles and my physical media, and it makes me feel better, even though I know I can't play them all offline. If they ever shut the servers down, I can't play it, but it makes me feel better. Now I get this from Microsoft, and I won't even be able to feel better about myself, and I just cough up $80 for the next trash game, which I think I'm in the minority here. I'm not paying $80 for Borderlands 4. I'm not paying $80 for Outer Worlds 2, which thankfully that's going to be on Game Pass. You know, you guys may be playing stuff, and I may be going back to Knights of the Old Republic too.
Well, now, that is something I've noticed that seems to be a trend with these games that people are finding this about. They all are Game Pass games. Because the three games that are listed here is Gears of War Reloaded, The Outer Worlds 2, and then Ninja Gaiden 4. And how they confirmed these, where they actually went and looked up their postings on Amazon, and the Amazon version of Gears of War and Outer Worlds 2 is just a box with a code in it, where the physical copy of Ninja Gaiden isn't even that. Apparently the Ninja Gaiden is just, let's see, or no, Gears of War code. Reloaded doesn't even have a physical option, where Outer Worlds and Ninja Gaiden are boxes with codes in them for the Xbox.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect Reloaded to be able to do that, and I'll show you why. Is because I actually bought this thing, if I can find it. So Gears of War Remastered. Yes, even though I bought the first game, I ended up physically buying the remastered version, which this is just another remastered version of the first Gears game. In the fact that I can't even hold up a case anymore because they're not making one doesn't surprise me, because I've already.
Hey, that's not true. No, that's not true. You can buy the PS5
You know what?
case.
Screw you.
You can buy the PS5 case and hold it up. He pulled it up. You just saw it. I love that you weren't looking. The whole time, man, Zeno had the box on the
Well,
that was good, Zeno. That was good. The whole time, the box from PS5 is just sitting there. I'm like, what do you mean you can't hold up the box?
Because I'm actually on YouTube, because I can't see the chat when we're in Teams. And now I see it. So, yeah, that was a wonderful 10-second delay on that part.
That's why I have YouTube running on the other screen. I swapped them here, so I stopped looking off to the side a little bit. But, yeah. Man.
And I mean, I'll play Reloaded because I get a free copy, because I've bought, all other 6 Gears of War games. I didn't bother with Tactics, which I don't consider a Gears of War game, even though it's technically a Gears game. And I'll play it, and me and Mrs. Bloodaxe will run through it again, and we'll tear a new one. And hell, Q may even join in if they allow us to do 4-player, which I don't think they would, because the core game was just 2 players. But if it does, cool.
I never pass up a chance to play Cold Train. You know that.
If you get a chance to play Cold Train, you might be Marcus, or you might be Dominic. But some of the best lines for Cole was actually in the first game. I mean, when you're on the in the mine carts and the trains hum on the rails, I've died just to hear him say it again because it's so fucking funny. But yeah, no, I'm not buying a PS version of Reloaded just so I can have a disc on my shelf. But going forward, if this is true, and it wouldn't surprise me if it is, if that's kind of going to be kind of the norm, that I can't even buy physical copies anymore. Hell, I've got a fabricator from Gears 5, a fabricator. just because I wanted the, $300 or however much it was edition of Gears 5 back. And then with the Jag drone, I could fly around and shit. Those were cool things. And, when we were in our 20s, we couldn't afford that because we didn't really have disposable income. But now that we're in our 40s and 50s, if I want to pay extra money for something that I know I'm going to enjoy, I would like the opportunity to do that. Microsoft's like, we don't want your money. Just pay for Game Pass and give us $20 a month or $25 in 2026 or whatever it's going to be. We'll just bleed you dry that way. It's going to get to the point where I'm going to be like, Q, do I have to think about my kids? Do they really utilize the benefit enough to even keep it? Because if I end up switching to PC, I don't see any reason to keep Game Pass anymore except the $10 version to download this couple of free games that I wouldn't buy personally. But if I get the PC Game Pass version, I can try some of these off-the-wall games. Like, what was I downloaded the other day? It was Expedition 33. I heard it was good, and I enjoyed the hell out of it on Game Pass, but it's not something I would have bought day one. And same thing with Outer Worlds 2. I wouldn't have bought it day one. I'd wait for it to go on sale. But now I get to enjoy it day one. So, paying $10 versus $20 or $25 would be of a benefit to me. But at what point do my kids, hey, you know what? You guys are 16, get a job, pay for your own Game Pass subscription because I'm out.
They're trying to justify raising that Game Pass price by also raising the price of all their video games. So, and
the consoles.
Yeah.
Because they raised the consoles immediately, like last month. So and I get there's inflation and we know that most companies, if not all, lose money on their console hardware. I get that. But the subscription service should not actually make you money to the point to where because you should not supplement the rest of your company based on your subscription service. You should be able to make money off of the Microsoft Store and have the gaming service as a benefit for gamers. Because 5 years ago, Q was the biggest fanboy of Game Pass. And now he's like, if it wasn't for one of my kids, I wouldn't even have it. And right now I'm always a couple years behind with, there was, Q was on Disney before I was. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid now. And now I'm the same way with Xbox because I try to see the good in companies and the benefit, and I try to stay loyal, but it's getting to the point to where, loyalty means dick nowadays. And I don't really see a point in keep shilling out that extra $20 a month for something that I've been playing Grounded all day because I finished Dune Dark Ages. Nothing else is really interesting that's sitting out there except for maybe Space Marine, which is 7 or 8 years old anyway. So there's nothing new that's out that I'm even remotely interested in playing.
I don't know,
right
man.
now.
I think in most of these cases, loyalty hasn't meant dick in a while.
Right, but again, I'm further behind in that headspace because I've tried to remain loyal to the brands that have got me through high school and college and helped me enjoy my first divorce and all those things. And now it's just like, it's not worth the squeeze anymore or to defend those companies anymore because people are look at me like, okay, you're a fool, number one, which is possibly true. But number two, if I can no longer defend you in good conscience, then I need to reevaluate, how I spend my money. And, for someone that, does have disposable income and extra money to spend, who wants to buy physical media and have collectibles, I got shit from Colonial Marines on my shelf just because I thought it was a cool game. I loved the franchise. Not that the game was worth a damn. So now I can't even get crappy memorabilia for crappy games because you won't even give me the opportunity to shill out money for a game that sucks.
I mean, they'll let you get probably bobbleheads. You don't get the important thing because to me, the disc is the real collector's item. Personally, that I think that's way better than the other stuff because it's the game, man. It's the physical representation of the game.
Look, man, I would love for them to sell deluxe editions with physical shit in them instead of the rest of my game in the deluxe edition, which is what seems to be what's happening right now. You know, yeah, get the people who want to support you by buying all that physical shit and give me my full game.
You know, and it's funny that you mentioned that because I think it was Nerdrotic that had said this, that even if you pay $80, you're not even getting a full game. You're getting the initial release of the game, and then you got to pay another $40, $50 for DLC 1, then another $40, $50 for DLC 2, as opposed to charging $150 up front, getting everything. And it's going to get to the point to where, you know, I'm going to just put everything on my wish list, and when it goes on sale for half off or whatever in my head I want to pay for it, and then I'll pay for it. Just like Space Marine 2. It's at 40%. I'm waiting for it to be 50% or more. Once it hits 50%, then I'll look at buying it, and then I'll talk to Q about getting it or use and see if we want to play it. But there's a lot of games now that I don't even bother, even when it's 25 or 30% off. I'm waiting for 50 or more before I get it. And Space Marine 2 is on that list. Hell, Civilization, who I've played since the early 90s. All of the Civ games, I'm waiting for half off. I'm not gonna budge on that one just because, you know, fuck me, because, you know, I would normally have done that, but their price tag was insane coming out. It was $100, and it's not even all of the DLC. It's just a bunch of cosmetics. I'm like, you know, so I'll wait. And, you know, same thing with Borderlands 4. You two may be playing and enjoying it, but I'm going to wait until it hits half off before I purchase the damn thing. Because Wonderlands just really pissed me off.
What you got, Q?
Well, I was just going to say, to roll into that, and like we're talking, I mean, we've got a talking point about them wanting to go up on Game Pass, you know, if you want to shoot that up there. And he's right, because the whole point of Game Pass was that I get more games than I would have spent on. That's the point. But if Game Pass becomes a $30 subscription, I don't like paying more than $60 for a game. So that means that for them to maintain with me, they're going to have to crank out a full price game that I would have bought every other month. And Game Pass has never managed to do that since I've had it. But before, it was managing to do it every 3 or 4 months, back when it was like $12 and $15. But if they keep going up, it's going to hit, like Bloodaxe is saying, a price to where you're better off buying games. Even more so, you're probably way better off buying games on Steam, since Steam sells games and you can usually get a game for $50 or $60 on Steam. But Xbox is not putting out a single game I would pay $80 for. And I know that's another topic. We'll get to that. But they're not putting out anything. So Xbox right now is not putting out anything that's worth a $30 subscription if they go up. I don't know what they're going to go up to, but they seem to be moving toward that price, because if you've got PC and console, you're paying $20 right now. So what the hell am I going to pay now? $25? Like, it's getting too expensive.
Well,
it really is.
Don't forget this. You can't play multiplayer games without a Game Pass subscription. You know that, right? You have to have at least core to be able to play multiplayer games online now.
Yeah, so Steam, I know. Like, I'm not going to lie. If they go up on price, it's not going to be merely I get a Game Pass. It's going to be I ditch Xbox altogether and just cross-platform for the people that can cross-platform and just ditch it. They're about to lose me completely. If they go up on Game Pass price, I'll probably just look at my boys. I've already bought him a copy of some of the games that are playing on Game Pass. He's only got a couple left that he still plays, and it might be cheaper for me to cancel the subscription and go buy him a copy of the Madden, and that might be cheaper. Because guess what? If the price goes up, it's only 2 or 3 months of Game Pass to buy him his own copy of the game, and now he owns it for as long as the servers are up. I was going to say the rest of his life, but we know that ain't true. But as long as the servers are up. So it might be cheaper. If this goes over $20, I'm out. I'm not paying more than $20 for Game Pass. And if I'm out, I'm going to delete the app. And I'm going to delete the library.
For the deluxe version, and I'm not even using the PC component of it. But, you know, you can get the PC version for $10 now and be able to play whatever few games you want on PC. But, you know, if it pushes me over the edge, you know, I can easily see you saying, you know what, Bloodaxe is out, and he was the last holdout, so let's all go Steam. And and that's mean, that's where I'm leaning to right now, just because of, everything's so damn expensive these days. But the last bastion of enjoyment or value was Game Pass, and now that's no longer a value for me because, hell, my son plays the same 2 or 3 games. I'm in the same boat. If I get
just
him
buy them on
those
sale,
couple of games,
just buy them on sale. Yeah, like the games my boys are playing are old. Like now, I can probably get Madden for $30 or $40. I can go get him the games. I already got him the basketball game he plays. My son's brother. I got him his basketball game because it was a new one. So he ain't even playing the one that's on Game Pass. He's playing the new one that came out.
And then you talk to your friends on Discord, and just ditch, the whole Xbox Live communication, which, you can get away with saying more on Discord than you can do on the headset on Xbox anyway.
I mean, people that want to play with us can just come over to Dicejunkies Discord gaming channel, and they can talk with us, play games with Dicejunkies, catch up, news, media. I don't really know how to do this. I'm imitating other people because we don't do this crap, but all of that and buttons and bells and Discord. Go sign up to the Discord. I tried, man. Halfway through, I lost steam. But yeah, honestly, we do have a gaming channel, voice channel for Dicejunkies.
Yeah,
and I meet all of our people there.
We use that probably once, twice a week, just so we can, kick back and have fun together. Because I'm the last holdout for Xbox. You guys haven't even turned. I don't even think Zeno's turned on the Xbox in months, and Q turns it on so he can download something from his Borderlands 3 character, ship it to me so I can give it to his other character. And so, other than that,
dust. I'm looking at it. There's so much dust. That Polar S is like gray on the top. The dust. There's just a coat of dust on the Xbox. I had to go do something with that, and I didn't even realize it was unplugged. You remember that? I had to go, and I was like, man, I didn't unplug the HDMI cable, unplug the power.
So yeah, I mean, and it's not often that I get on a soapbox or I get passionate about, because I'm just usually going with the lazy river of life. But when I saw this yesterday and I shared it with Q, the fact that Q responded back within 60 seconds, like, oh shit, he's gonna be pissed. He's right, because we've talked for years about you guys get the digital media, and I'm all about the physical copies. And for a while, you guys were saying, well, maybe Bloodaxe was smart by getting the physical copies because they can't change the physical. Like, I have the old versions of the old Star Wars films well before George Lucas sold out. I can go back and watch, the non-molested changes of Star Wars. And that was smart. But now I can't even go back and play some of these games because they're going to make them completely online mandatory, and they're going to be useless. So, it is a dark day for me as a gamer, but it's probably the kick in the ass I need in order to go ahead and bite the bullet, pull the trigger, hang up all my achievement hunting from Xbox and switch over to Steam, where I don't even know if they have trophies over there, but if that's the case, then I can just play the games for fun and not for objectives anymore.
Yeah, and Zeno, I know you probably been wanting to actually show us a topic, but we've been on a rampage here, man.
Oh no, dude! I mean,
rampage.
I'm with you on that. Like, I mean, the whole. I mean, it ain't just Xbox either, man. It has been a lot of different companies. Like, dude, I was on Steam today, and I was like, man, I've been thinking about getting into the whole Rune Factory. Like, Rune Factory for Switch has been coming to PC for a while, and I've been thinking about picking up one to check it out. And a new one had just come out, and it was more Eastern than the past ones. Look sort of almost cultivation-y. And I was like, oh, that looks cool. And so I went on to Steam and I clicked on it. And of course, the first thing I read is, oh yeah, so there's characters in the game that just stand around and do nothing unless you buy the deluxe edition, because their stories don't unlock unless you buy, the more expensive versions. They didn't, with the additions, add them into the game. They're actually in the game and just dumb and just there.
What game is this? They removed them from the game because they removed them from the game to sell to you.
Yeah, but they
That's
didn't
why
even
they're
remove them
already
from
in
the
the
game.
game.
They left them there with just no.
No, I'm saying they removed that part to sell.
Yeah.
Clearly, it was already in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
you
Xeno,
send
what
me a
game
game.
is this?
Rune
And the dude's already
Factory
there.
6, 7, something, whatever the new Rune Factory is.
That's pretty interesting.
I
haven't heard of this.
It's the famous cutting up a game to sell parts back as DLC.
Yeah. And so at that point, I was like, I'm not buying it.
With that mirror shit.
Yeah. So.
Just like, yeah, because was it Randy Pitchford wants to sell us the mini map in a couple of months, and then Obsidian's going to sell us the ability to build zip lines and grounded too, because they're going to force feed the buggies down your throat. Sorry, I'm bitter, guys. I apologize.
Hey, don't worry. They're smart about it. For a while, the buggies, the riding the bugs is going to be awesome to get you to buy the game. Then they're going to nerf it and mess it up, so you have to buy the zip line.
Well, and I mean, honestly, just like this next article, until we decide to do something about it, we're supporting this behavior. Here we have Switch 2 is Nintendo's fastest selling console, despite the high prices. Former Nintendo marketing leads say you're basically teaching them that they can continue to do this, which
they are, not us. I haven't.
As long as we continue to pay every time they update the Xbox Game Pass, as long as we continue to buy every time they upgrade the prices on these games without giving us any extra real content or value out of them, as soon as, unless we quit buying that DLC that they obviously ripped out of the game to make an incomplete game, then they're just going to keep doing it.
All right, I'll do my best. You know what? That's reasonable. Bloodaxe, you've been saying that you're worried I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to make them shave at least $10 off before I buy Borderlands 4. I'll buy it at $70 or less. Even though I really want something to play, you're right. We can't pay $80 for this. Now, at least I can't be blamed for Nintendo. I have never owned. There's three of us in this room in this conversation. One of us has never owned any version of the Switch. But,
did you even own a Wii? You haven't owned anything past Super Nintendo, have you?
I owned a GameCube.
When I had a GameCube,
wait. I borrowed the GameCube. I got it from a pawn shop. I got the GameCube from a pawn shop, but I did own a GameCube. I never bought the Game Boy Color. I owned the original Game Boy. I didn't buy the flip touch molest screen, whatever, and all that crap, because I don't like portables, and also Nintendo kind of sucks. So.
Yeah, no, because I've owned every Nintendo except for the Wii U. No, I bought a Wii U too. The only one I haven't bought is Switch 2, and I'm getting to the point to where my kids aren't interested in Nintendo games anymore. Because, man, we would play Mario Kart for hours, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And now they're like, Smash, not really interested in playing Smash anymore. And, okay, well, we have a new Switch 2 coming out with Mario Kart World. I'd rather go play Roblox or Trailmakers or whatever it is they're playing. I'm like,
Minecraft.
So I'm not going to drop $500 and then $80 for a game for something you're not even interested in, much less willing to play.
Dude, you're also, I've heard those Switch 2s are kind of dangerous. I like the way I saw Xeno movie do what I was doing. I was like, you need to hope that your kids don't get covered in hot battery acid or something.
What are they blowing up?
Well, the battery's swelling. So, you may have spent $500 for the fanciest bomb, fanciest mini bomb you can get your hands on. Now, it's not a frequent issue, but still, all the trash talk, all the high prices, all this, and then you're sending out a unit that's literally like the batteries are swelling up because they sat them in a warehouse or something. The physics, I'm not the guy. But yeah, and you see there's he hasn't popped it up yet, but there's several articles talking about the batteries.
Talking about how long they last. I'm not finding articles about the whole swelling thing.
I thought I sent you a link, didn't I?
I didn't see a link.
Yeah, it is. I'm right there. I'm looking at it in the Teams chat.
Oh, I'd already. So I close off Teams so I don't mess up y'all's sharing. Because if I go and open up this chat in Teams, it's going to move your images around.
Oh, is there
Hold
a TV?
on. Then we're going to do something unique. Yeah, guess what? It's over here. It's in the YouTube chat. Everybody can click it.
Well, there
you go. But
oh my God!
Everybody can click on exploding article. But what it is that the battery ends up swelling, causing a deformation on the box. I've seen actual footage of it. Now, the risky part is that the natural inclination, people that don't know better, is you see that your switch seems to be bent, so you're going to try to push it back in. And that's what's causing the real risk.
I think you got filtered out, 'cause I'm not seeing the article post in the chat there.
It's in YouTube? You don't see it?
No.
I'm looking at it.
I see Xeno sharing the.
It may not have popped up yet, maybe because it's behind, but I see it.
It may have blocked you. I don't know.
I probably did because he's mean to me sometimes. But
I'm blocked. Okay, I guess I'm blocked.
No, not you. Sharing links in our chat.
Oh, maybe blocked. Okay.
Yeah,
it's tweaktown.com.
This kind of goes back to the same thing that I was asking about 2 weeks ago about the Rock. Having a console this small with high-powered hardware, I still can't understand. Maybe Xeno can explain it in a way that I can understand, but it just seems like it's number one dangerous because of as we see with the heating issue with the battery packs. But also, how can it possibly handle, higher quality graphics, which we've already seen the Switch having problems just being able to render basic games that were on the Xbox One, much less the Series consoles. I don't really see how these small, compact, portable gaming systems are going to be able to keep up with the FPS and with, the hardware required to run these higher-end games.
But let me get the warning out there, though.
About the Rock,
let me get the warning out there. Do not press down on the deformation. That is the battery. And if you press down on it, it's already pressurized. It can pop.
Obviously, it's not even going to Tweaktown. I'm not seeing this article, so. But I will say this is a common issue with lithium batteries, man. If they will swell if they aren't stored properly or they get too hot and stuff like that. It sounds like though there is an issue with just the lifespan of the battery. A lot of people are complaining about the lifespan of the Switch 2 battery.
But they didn't have that problem with the Switch 1. At least I haven't had a problem with my Switch having battery melting or even life degradation because of it. So any idea of what's causing the hardware failure this early on for something that just launched a week or two ago?
Well, Q was saying that it said something about him not storing them
properly. I
properly.
found an article. Me and you are going to have a talk about your searching. Because I found the article by searching for it immediately.
For Switch 1?
Well, because you know the exact wording.
I put in Tweaktown, Switch 2 battery exploding, and immediately got the article.
And you didn't say exploding. You told me it was swelling.
And then exploding. Well, I forgot you didn't look at the original link to see the title.
Well, yeah. Xeno doesn't read the shit we send him until the day of.
That's Dogpile Xeno.
So there we go. Now I see your exploding one.
Well, yeah, if you press down on a battery, it's already pressurized.
Yeah.
So it isn't merely a case of the battery dying. There are articles about leaks and various battery issues. And to me, it's just quality control. I mean, yes, this is a known issue. I did my research and found out that portable devices have this issue with their batteries sometimes. But this is a $600-700 Switch 2 that they're talking all the big crap about. And more importantly, this is something specifically given to young children. Nintendo targets younger kids. And if you press down on this battery, your child can get injured. I'm not trying to be an alarmist.
You got to put a decent amount of pressure on those, man.
Well, it depends on how much heat's built up.
Bloodaxe, your kids. Tell me your kids wouldn't sit up there and damn near jump up and down on that thing trying to press it back in.
Kids don't understand that, hey, if I do something and it doesn't easily go back into place, that I shouldn't try harder. That's
my
not,
son too.
That's not
but I mean, we have the same issue with phones and.
Yeah, do you know how many phones I've had to replace because kids are stupid?
Yeah.
You don't have any kids, so you don't understand.
Yeah, he don't know. I'm sitting here going
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
My son would puncture this battery because it's a fire hazard. It literally is considered a fire hazard. My son would have set this thing on fire within a couple of days. It would be on fire. Love him. Kid's brilliant in a lot of ways. He rough handles devices like you wouldn't believe. He would have looked and said, Dad, it's bit. He would have grabbed some scissors and been like that. It just, like immediately.
But that's just because your boy went from like a little squirt to like 6'2" and and he doesn't know his own strength yet.
A little guy anymore. Yeah. He's sitting in chairs trying to lean back on a chair, and I'm like, you are 200 plus pounds and over 6 feet tall. You cannot lean back in a chair like that. That's my boy. But no, like, it's just interesting because to me, it's a quality control issue. Because you say this, but I don't remember this with any previous Switches. I don't remember, unless it got silenced. I don't remember your Switch may go up in a ball of fire being a thing for the previous Switch. Dude.
I mean, that AMD processor that I have in your computer right now had, right after it came out, everybody was claiming it was getting set on fire. It was blowing up. But it ended up being only 2 or 3 instances, and it was because of a poorly constructed motherboard and had nothing to do with the processor. But those 2 or 3 instances caused like massive reporting about it.
Well, I mean, your goal is to set nobody's child on fire.
Well, yes.
It's your goal.
I mean,
Bloodaxe, your goal is to have nobody's kid set on fire by Mario Kart. The desired number is 0. You know how many's too many? Anything over 0.
Yeah.
That's my counter.
I mean, my thing is everything in life has some form of risk.
I do not believe Game Boys had a chance of blowing up in a ball of fire.
I don't think it's that drastic either.
I know. I'm making it bigger every time I bring it up.
Yes.
I don't like Nintendo right now. I don't have to be fair. We're not a media channel.
No, and the only thing that's going to bug me is when a new Metroid game, when Metroid Prime comes out, and then I'm gonna like, shit, I'm gonna have to either bite the bullet or just forego the next Samus game. But with this, that decision's pretty easy. Is we just won't be playing Samus.
Were you about to say something along the lines of we can still try to be fair? I threatened to beat you up before the show. Like what?
No, that's not what I was going to say at all. I was saying technically we can still get sued for misinformation.
What misinformation? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Blazing balls of fire, mayhem, apocalypse.
Well, no. The goal is for 0 kids blowing up. That is the goal.
I stand by my belief that one child is one child too many to get any degree of injury, even minor acid burns or, oh no, I burnt my eyebrows off. It's still too many. If I knew a device had even a 10% chance, if I knew a device had a 10% chance of setting my son's head on fire, I didn't name no names of who that device might be, I would buy it. 10%'s too much.
It's nowhere near a 10%. It's a 0.0001%.
See, now we can get sued for misinformation. You cannot back that number up.
I cannot back that number, but I'm just saying, if we're going to go with percentages, it's closer to what I said than it is to what you said.
Well, yeah, because we put out this announcement telling people not to press down on the battery. They can thank us. Service announcement.
So what about that game we missed last week that you wanted to talk about? Blood of the Dawn Walker?
Oh, my goodness, I can't believe this.
We talking about Blood of the Dawn Walker.
Let me give an official apology. It was the first game I saw, and I got super excited, but didn't we watch so many other trailers, and they were so trash, and Xbox was doing so much trashy games or weird stuff, that it got out of my memory. But Blood of the Dawn Walker is my opinion for what may be game of the year 2026. It looks amazing. We've got Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk veterans working on it. We talked about it when they made Rebel Wolf. Remember, Xeno? We covered the formation of Rebel Wolf, and it just takes me back to Legacy of Kain. What if somebody took Legacy of Kain and combined it with The Witcher 3 and like the good Assassin's Creed game? It has that vibe, and it looks really good. It does. I'm actually quite excited for it. I'm hoping it's going to launch a new franchise, but I believe that Xeno found out that they've recently commented about it and said that it's so open world that you can play through the whole game without even meeting some factions and have played like hours and hours, because that's how much how sandbox open world it is. But it looks amazing. They also seem to have a lot of playability from the way they're describing that you may never even meet this faction and go through their storyline and affect the ending for them. It is awesome. Awesome. I really can't. And given that I don't know what Witcher's doing because they got rid of my boy Geralt and I'm not a Ciri fan, I'm hyped for this. I'm pretty hyped for this, you know? It is really distracting to have on my other screen Xeno over here going, fireball! Like, because of the delay. That's why it's funny, because on my screen, you're over here. And I'm just like, okay.
I thought we talked about, maybe we talked about it before the show, but I remember we talked about this game.
It looks like the single player game of the year, man. I am actually, the more I'm following this, the more fascinated and interested I'm getting in it. So we want to definitely say that this is my pick for the best thing that popped out of the expo. This goes top of what I think is going to possibly be one of the best things that are coming. It is 2026. Then we get into like, you know, we're all hoping Dying Light Beast is going to be really good because of the co-op. And I don't remember much else being that exciting. But those two are like, but that's my pick. Co-op, and Grounded 2. Most excited games, Grounded 2 and Dying Light the Beast for co-op. Most exciting single player game coming out, without a doubt, Blood of the Dawnwalker is my most hyped for single player game. So now I feel like we've done proper coverage of it, and I might be wrong. You guys can call me on it, but I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm optimistic.
I'm not as optimistic as you, but I don't know. I think I've just become jaded in video games in general.
I'm more optimistic than I was about Redfall.
Well, yeah, okay.
No, that's a lie.
I was optimistic.
We were optimistic about Redfall.
I actually tried to.
I wasn't. I was cautiously optimistic, but I had a pretty good suspicion because remember we had just played Back for Blood, and we were stoked on that one, and it fell flat on its face. I had a sneaky suspicion Redfall was going to be along those same lines. This one looks to be a lot better polished than those two games. So, and it's something I'm interested in definitely picking up. But depending on when it comes out, you know, if E-Day and Dawnwalker come out at the same time, I'm probably going to be overwhelmed with E-Day. And you know that's going to be the way in this household anyway.
Well, I mean, I'll be on there with E-Day with you for multiplayer anyway. I mean, dude, single player is for when you guys are busy. That's what it's for. It's for when I can't play with my boys. But why'd you have to bring it up? Because honestly, in retrospect, Redfall was a really big disappointment. I was optimistic for that game. I really was. I'm heartbroken that it ended up being such a failure because I think it had the right idea. Maybe they could have did better on the characters, but we're not going to keep beating that dead horse. Everybody knows our opinions on that. But the concept, I think it was on the right track conceptually.
It's a missed opportunity, same way that Wonderlands was a missed opportunity. And hopefully, you know, as we move forward, and we've seen what Claire Obscure did with Expedition 33 and some of these other games that have been, you know, surprisingly well received, maybe they'll go back to the direction of let's just make good games that are fun to play. At least I hope that's the direction.
I feel like there's probably only one game I can think of that I'm even somewhat optimistic about. So,
hit us. What you got?
We talked about it before. Nobody really talked about it during the any of the expos, but Into the Fire, just because of what they've done for No Man's Sky. over the years. I'm somewhat optimistic about Into the Fire. But other than that, I can't think of a game where I'm actually optimistic and I think they're going to do a good job. You know, I plan for the worst for most of these games and hope for the best.
No, it's Light No Fire.
Or Light No Fire, yeah.
Because I was looking Into the Fire and I saw what looked like the god-awful movie, and I said, that's not it. And it's like, no, it's Light No Fire.
Light No Fire. Sorry.
I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, oh, no, Light No Fire. Yeah, you're right. Not seeing, not anything big that's come out. Oh, my. In fact, quite differently, some people on Reddit are claiming that it's never coming out or that it'll release somewhere around 2031. Sorry, buddy. You might already be hoping up the wrong tree.
I don't believe that, man. I mean, they're not showing...
You don't believe Reddit?
They're not showing a lot on it, but I mean, the way they've talked about it, and because of all the updates they've done to No Man's Sky recently, a lot of the updates they're doing to No Man's Sky recently have been specifically for the reason of they're trying them out there before they release Light No Fire.
It looks good. I'm not playing a flipping rabbit. It looks good, though. It looks good. I got friends. You know what? I know some furries. I know a furry. We'll invite them so we can have somebody play the rabbit, because I know you're out doing it. And I don't even want to see Rabbit Bloodaxe. I don't even know what that would look like. Looked like the Vorpal Buddy became a were buddy. Just a bloody buddy with an axe.
I am the one with the most kids, so.
Yeah, you know what? That's it. Bloodaxe. You will make the Bloodaxe Bunny, the Vorpal Buddy barbarian. There you go. Well, once you get, you give up on Xbox. So,
Dude,
and according to Reddit, you'll be on PC by the time it comes out. So.
Yeah, no, I'm maybe I'll calm down, but the way it is right now, dude, I'm just heartbroken, disappointed. But one of the things that you and Xeno have often talked about, and I've always just been a teeny bit jealous, is the Steam sales and the price that you guys pay like $2 and get like 5 games. Something that Xbox never does, and Nintendo will never do. They never put anything on sale. From a value perspective, yeah, that's something that's interesting. And what you would only pay in Game Pass for a year, you could probably get a handful of games that you actually might enjoy playing.
Yep. I think we got 2 more articles. One that Bloodaxe will be zoned out for, but the other one, I think he will be if he doesn't already know, I'm sure he does, and that is Spaceballs 2.
Oh, we talked about this yesterday.
98 years old. He has become yogurt. He is now
Brooks,
literally.
Mel Brooks did the perfect thing, because. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to step on your toes, but if I don't say it now, I'll forget about it. But how many times have we said, no one asked for this? No one asked for this. No one asked for this. And Mel Brooks had a statement that says, we polled all the fans, we asked what they want, and we decided to make this movie anyway. Which is, about right. So it is Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. But the fact that I'm calling my shot now. They're going to basically do a whole spoof on The Force Awakens, and Bill Pullman's son's going to do the whole kill Lone Star, i.e. Adam Driver with Han Solo in this movie. So I'm calling my shot.
I mean, what's funny is that I was like, oh, Spaceballs 2. But then when he said that, I said, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I probably would have voted Blazing Saddles 2, Young Frankenstein 2. Then I started listing off all the other movies I might have put before Spaceballs 2, and I went, that's not exactly incorrect, that there are other Mel Brooks movies I would like to see more of first, so that tickled me. That as I thought about it, I went, it's not wrong. But the scroll was savage. like, oh my goodness, just a absolutely savage, man. The DCU attempt 1 and DCU attempt number 2 just had me falling out, man. I was like, ha ha. And we're about to have DCU attempt number 3. You know, like these suckers said, yo, you get 3 strikes before you're out, right?
They say a non-prequel, non-reboot sequel part 2, but with reboot elements, franchise expansion film.
And they're actually bringing everybody back. They've got Bill Pullman. They've got Rick Moranis. Because if Mel's going to do it, he's going to do it right. Apparently, Lewis Pullman, Josh Gad.
Dude, I don't trust anybody anymore. So I really can't be too hyped about this. Like, I was hyped right away. And then I was just like, oh, but
you don't
can
trust
I be?
Mel Brooks? Mel Brooks? Come on, man. Mel Brooks.
I don't trust nobody, man.
Mel Brooks is his own brand of humor, because there's American humor, British humor, and there's Mel Brooks humor, and it's not any of the others.
I grew up on Mel, man. You know what?
I get you.
Maybe I'm going to get my heart broken, but I'm going to be real here, and I'm being real here. I'm going to believe in Mel. One more time. I got to hope somebody.
Hey.
One of the saving graces, I think Mel Brooks is so old that he doesn't care about any backlash, and he'll probably make the movie he wants to make, and not necessarily make them this politically correct. So I'm hoping he just gives like the big middle finger and makes the movie that he thinks that he would have made had he made a proper sequel or another Spaceballs film. But the fact that we lost John Candy, so we won't have Barf. We've lost Joan Rivers, so we won't have Dot Matrix. It's going to be a different film altogether. But hell, we don't have John Hurt anymore to be able to reprise his role from the diner scene. But I really think that Mel Brooks is kind of a dying breed when it comes to sticking to his roots, and I hope I'm right, because if I'm wrong, then nothing else can be counted on anymore.
We'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see.
But no, Spaceballs, I remember seeing it at the theater.
You just brought that one back.
Oh, wow. That's going to be a problem.
Hello?
Yeah.
The meeting ended.
Yeah. So that's going to be an issue.
Meeting ended. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I got a message
that
says meetings cannot exceed 60 minutes.
What do we do? We're supposed to be live right now. What do we do?
I mean, we are live. I mean, you live got booted.
Oh, I mean, y'all still on, or am I?
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm calling Blood. Get him back.
Because I just looked up and it said meeting ended. I was like, what? Man, this Skype nonsense. God, dog, this Skype nonsense, dude.
That was weird. What happened? Did I get booted? Or
Teams has a max of 60 minutes for a frigging meeting. Which isn't true, because we have like 4-hour meetings at work, so I don't even know what that's about.
Our version of Teams.
Oh. And I was going on. I hope Tim Russ is back. But
Can you at least get us back in online?
Yes, we're online. I mean, we never lost connection online. We just lost Teams.
Wait, so people can hear us right now?
Yes.
Okay. Screw Skype, man. Microsoft can kiss my ass. This is dumb. Freaking give us, now we got to use other stuff, and half of it don't act right. Discord can't post screens, and Teams shuts you down after an hour. Ugh. Anyway, so Bloodaxe, we don't have your camera, man. Can you get your camera back up?
Oh, did it not automatically connect?
No, I had to do that too. It's all
right. We'll have to figure this out for next time around.
This is not. You're right. This is not selling me on Xbox and Microsoft right now. This is not This is not literally helping on quality or faith at all.
Dude, if I need to make a Zoom invitation, I'll make a Zoom invite. We can use Zoom instead. I actually have a Zoom account.
Michael accused you of kicking us out. That's hilarious. Mike's like, you didn't like their opinions. All
right. Last thing we have. So Blood really didn't even have to come back because last thing we have is anime related. So.
All right. I'll see y'all next week.
What do we got? I actually don't know what we got here. This is going to be a surprise to me, too. What has Crunchyroll done? I'm going to guess Crunchyroll because it's Crunchyroll.
Well, it's not something Crunchyroll has done. It is something that a competition to Crunchyroll may be hitting the market.
I don't see anything.
I'm not sharing my screen with you guys right now.
I'm like, yeah, man, fascinating.
Because crazy crap happened. Now because I shared my screen with you guys, it killed. There we go.
This is starting to be fun.
You know what, man? Why can't we just get we had a program that worked.
Skype. Why can't we Skype?
And it didn't limit our time. It didn't disappear if we, put a window over it.
Well, what it is you see, there's the new Microsoft Plus Teams Ultra Suite. It's $300 a year, but you don't get a physical disc unless you're on a PlayStation. And that will do what you need it to do until they price hike it to $350 the next year. Because this is what Microsoft is now. That's right. I'm putting out Microsoft hate. We may get turned off again.
I mean, the thing is I actually have Microsoft 360. I also have the Enterprise Edition of Microsoft, and it's still...
Yeah, but did you not heard about the new Enterprise Plus?
So Crunchyroll is doing its best, but Suzumi Studio founder hopes Toho provides healthy anime competition in America. Basically, you have a new company coming into America with for anime in North America. So a competition for Crunchyroll. Now, it doesn't sound like they're really looking to try to knock Crunchyroll as much as their claim is there's a lot of anime that Crunchyroll does not buy and a lot of anime that's not getting over to the U.S., and that's where they want to fill in the gap, is to get more titles into the U.S. versus to compete directly.
We know that's true. We literally are watching several animes that aren't on Crunchyroll. And with Funimation and Crunchyroll combining and becoming a massive monopoly, if you don't go through Crunchyroll, you have to go through far less well-known and honestly lower quality.
Which basically means providers. They control what the U.S. sees when it comes to anime.
Yes, literally. They're actually notorious for changing what the hell's in the anime. So we need competition. But we need competition just so you might actually get the correct effing story. You know what I mean? Otherwise you might be sitting there going like, man, I didn't know that samurais had such strong opinions on social engineering. That's weird. I thought they'd be about swords. Because Crunchyroll, they decide that everything's got to be about what they think it needs to be about. So, no, I don't trust Crunchyroll. I don't even trust what I see on Crunchyroll to be accurate. I suss out everything on Crunchyroll. It's why we watch High Dive, other stuff, is because I suss out Crunchyroll. So, yeah, I'd love to see some good competition. I'm glad that people are saying something, and even anime companies are saying something, because the only way, because what did we just say about people making Nintendo Switch the highest selling, Switch 2 highest selling system? As long as you don't have
Nintendo system, Nintendo,
whoever. The key point is that if we don't have another option and don't pursue other options, Crunchyroll has no reason to stop doing what they're doing. They can keep redubbing it, changing everything they want, because you can't go anywhere else, and people still watch them. But if somebody else came out, especially if they could get some of the animes Crunchyroll is altered and put up the unaltered version, that could really start. You have a chance to actually put your money where your mouth is and show, do you want the original version or do you want the for the modern audience version? But there's not even an option for that, really. You know,
I don't think that's going to change, really, though.
Huh?
I just said I don't think it's going to change. I mean, I think we'll get more anime, but I don't think what Crunchyroll is doing, anybody's going to like fight them against it. They're still going to be translating the animes that they purchase. It's just there'll be another company out there also purchasing anime
for it. Okay, good example. Anime we've been looking forward to comes over. 2 companies have a copy of it. Crunchyroll version, not Crunchyroll version.
They're not going to have the same anime.
It's not possible. So, oh yeah, you're right. The way that usually works, they're not going to ever have it.
No.
So, you know, the best thing is just don't watch Crunchyroll. There we go.
I don't.
I can say that, right? I'm allowed to say that. Don't watch Crunchyroll.
So
learn how to sail.
There'll be more options. That's the thing. There'll be more options, but it's not going to be options of the same anime. There'll be more anime.
Let me rephrase that. You're right. I don't know why I was thinking that they could have 2 versions. I'm off. I'm really thrown off by the teams thing, dude. That really got me. But the companies will have a choice who to send it over to, and some of them may go, we're not going to send this over to Crunchyroll. They're going to screw it up. We know they are. We know how Crunchyroll is. So even giving anime companies more options so that they can dodge Crunchyroll but still reach America is a good thing. There we go.
Now that's a possibility. I mean, you could see, because a lot of these Japanese companies have complained about Crunchyroll's translations. So you might see some of these companies going, we'll take the lower bid on the license just because we know these people actually translate true to film, you know.
Dude, anime writers, some of them are very serious about the work. There's still some in creative integrity outside of the Western entertainment. I've seen some anime people, like anime writers and manga writers, say, yeah, no, I didn't do this because they weren't willing to listen to me. They wanted to do this. They take it a little more seriously. I mean, not everybody's as corrupt and sold out as we are, where, you know, everybody's trying to please Hollywood. So it is possible some series would not hit Crunchyroll if there was a viable option, even if it means that you're not on the biggest company, because you don't want your work to get bastardized. You know what I mean?
So that's a possibility. So, all right. Well, that's it. That's going to wrap us up, guys. Be sure to go to Dicejunkies.com where you find links everywhere we're online, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on our YouTube channel. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy.